Alright, so this is my absolutely no BS fitness guide on how to build an aesthetic body. So to build an aesthetic body, you're obviously going to need to build that aesthetic V-taper upside down triangle, that Dorito shape, which makes any man look super attractive. And the way that we're going to be doing this is obviously through resistance training, whether that is through calisthenics, weights, bands, whatever you have. So the reason you're probably here is because you're a young man, you want to build some muscle, look a little bit better, and this is 100% great, because with an aesthetic body, a lot of people don't make this connection. However, an aesthetic body tells a lot about a man and overall who he is. It tells his work ethic, who he is as a man, how responsible he is with himself as well as with his life, and you're absolutely going to get so many benefits. It gives you so much more confidence, and it's actually going to reduce your chances to be depressed. To start, the first thing you're going to want to do is that if you're probably skinny or skinny fat, what you're going to want to do is that you're going to want to be on a calorie surplus. You're going to want to bulk. And what this means is that you're just eating above your maintenance calories and you're eating mostly protein. And even if you already have a little bit of fat, if you're just skinny fat or something like that, don't worry about this, because the muscle that you're going to build with this is going to overcome the fat that you have right now. So the fat, don't even worry about that. You're going to be worrying about losing all the fat once you actually build a solid amount of muscle. This goes for about probably 60-70% of y'all. However, if you're actually obese or you're overweight, just eat in your maintenance calories and lose fat and build muscle at the same time. Alright, so to build this aesthetic V-taper, what you're going to want to do is that you're going to want to focus on these 6 aesthetic muscle groups. Number 1 is going to be the chest, more specifically the upper chest, which the upper chest is that part of the chest which makes your chest look a lot more fuller and manlier. This also makes your chest look wider and more of a man, which is one of the more important parts of building that aesthetic V-taper. Second is going to be shoulders, more specifically the lateral delt, which is the side delt of the shoulders. And this is very important as it gives your shoulders that capped, fuller look from a side view, which is what makes a man look which is what a lot of people call broad shoulders. However, I'm going to explain how it's not really the shoulders that makes a man look so attractive. However, it is a very important part in building an aesthetic body. Number 3, it is the traps. Focus on traps as well, as traps is that part which gives you that big manly look, as it gives that thicker look in your frame. And also paired with number 4, the neck. The neck, having a thicker neck, training neck. Yes, neck training might sound a little bit weird. However, neck is also a big part of building an aesthetic body, as it gives you that manlier, thicker, more masculine look in your frame. And it gives you that bigger bodybuilder look. Like you don't want to get extremely big as a bodybuilder, because we're training for aesthetics. And I mean, not that high of aesthetic, not to that extreme. However, you do want to have some pretty big traps as well as the neck, as it gives you that manlier, bigger, I want to say, more experienced type of man look. Number 5, it is the lats. Lats are literally the biggest, most important part in building that aesthetic body, as it's like that key component on giving you that wider, more separate shoulders, and it gives you that sexy upside down triangle aspect ratio, which is what you want, because the biggest part of building an aesthetic body is giving you that tiny waist, big shoulders look, and the lats is what's going to give you that, as it's going to separate how far, it's going to basically determine how far apart your shoulders are from each other. And number 6, of course, it is abs, as abs is that Greek god iconic muscle, which obviously is that muscle that everyone knows, and it looks good on any man, no matter what. As long as you're not super skinny, make sure that you don't really focus on having too low body fat percentage. However, you do want to make sure that you develop your abs, since they do resonate with an aesthetic physique. And as a bonus, arms, more specifically the biceps and triceps. Arms are also, after all of these 6 aesthetic muscle groups, after you focus on these, arms are also one of the more important parts of an aesthetic physique, as they give you that manly, big man look in your arms, because you obviously don't want to have only big shoulders, but you also want big arms. And I'm not saying that you should neglect any of the other muscle groups, however, these are the most important ones that you should focus on. I'm not saying you should skip leg day or whatever, but yes, these are the muscle groups that you should focus on mostly. Next up, nutrition. Whenever you're building an aesthetic body, make sure that you're getting enough protein. An easy rule of thumb for protein, just eat 0.8 to 1 gram of protein depending on how much body fat you have. If you're more on the lean side, eat 1 gram of protein. However, if you're pretty obese, eat 0.8 grams, as you should be eating the amount of protein per pound of weight, but this is weight of muscle mass, not necessarily fat. Also, like I said, like I explained before, make sure that you're in a calorie surplus if you're skinny, or skinny fat if you don't have like extreme amounts of fat. However, if you're more obese or overweight, then you should be basically main gaining, which means that you're eating at maintenance and you're losing fat and gaining muscle at the same time. Next, your training split and overall training as a whole. Like I said, you can use any sort of resistance training, even if you don't have a gym or whatever. You can literally do calisthenics, push-ups, squats, crunches, whatever you have at home. This is a great foundation to start with. This is how I started. And yes, you're very likely, I would recommend that you do the push-pull legs training split, meaning that you're going to be training each muscle group 2 times per week, which includes, like I said, the chest, shoulders, and triceps, which is the push. Pull is going to be back and biceps, and then legs is everything in your lower body. And you're obviously going to be wanting to train to failure in the 8 to 12 rep range, as this is the rep range which stimulates the most hypertrophy. And finally, recovery. You're of course going to want to recover very well. You're going to want to get 8 to 9 hours of sleep. And as well, you can also use supplements. Protein powder and creatine are very good supplements when it comes to building an aesthetic body. And yeah, that's basically all the no BS, quick and easy, no BS how to build an aesthetic body guide. And yeah, if you want to learn anything related to self-improvement, masculinity, whatever, make sure to subscribe. It's a win-win for the both of us. Also, if you want to get started right away, no matter if you have a gym or if you're at home or whatever, you want to get started right away, you want to get a quick workout routine, you can check out the 8 free aesthetic 8 free workout routines that are included in the description below. And yeah, make sure to share with a friend who needs this, and yeah, do it for your future self.